since I've been doing this video sharing project. I've consciously tried to apply a policy that I call save the best for yourself. This is intended to counteract my pattern of ADHD. I get really deeply interested in a project or a hobby or an activity, and then get distracted by another deep dive passion, abandon the first, move on to the second. I have an OCD pattern as well, where I become really hyper compulsive. My relationship with photography has been lifelong. Fell madly in love with it as a young teenager. My father was a photographer in his youth. I got interested in darkroom photography. I was doing the chemicals and I was using paintbrushes to paint the developer onto the exposed film unevenly so I would get different effects. At 17, I was crazy about it. I carried my camera everywhere and I was constantly taking pictures. The problem was, if I was out of film or if I didn't have my camera and something amazing was happening, I would feel terrible because I was quote unquote missing it. I was so FOMOing my photography experience that I wasn't living my lived experience. So in a peak moment that I should have been wowed and awed and having an amazing time, I was feeling terrible because I didn't have my camera. This got so bad, so young, that I had to go to radical methods. I cut myself off from photography entirely for a period of time. Refused to take any photographs of anything until I got through that emotional thing and I could come back and enjoy photography without destroying my emotional health. Whew. You know, the neurodivergent brain then can see things and is drawn to visual art in a certain way, might have to pay a price in other ways. So anyway, I've come up with strategies to help work against this. So I now make sure that in the things I record, I consciously hold back lived experience that I make sure is of more peak, more beauty, more import than what I share publicly. So if it seems like I'm sharing beautiful things, I am, but I must be experiencing for myself more and better in my own mind that I keep private, that I don't record. So it's that balance. Instead of all or nothing, I'm photographing the penultimate experiences and I am putting down recording devices and simply experiencing peak experiences. That there's no record of some of the most important things, and there's an interesting record of the most important adjacent things. That's just my brain and my strategies as I've navigated this life. I've spent the majority of my 60 years passionately thinking about art, and then in the next thought telling myself, yeah, but you can't spend your life doing that. Next to the loss of loved ones, that's the greatest loss of my life, that I was taught to squelch my love for practicality. I'm gonna be 60 in a year and a few months, and I am unlearning that pattern. Ciao, my friends.